So during my review of Venom, I said I would talk about some of the Easter eggs I found most interesting in the film. Now, right off the bat, I think the most interesting one we can talk about is the inclusion of Jameson. Now, obviously, this is the astronaut Jameson, which means it's the sun. And this is most likely a direct reference to, even though they don't say his full name outright, to J. Jonah Jameson's son, who of course, I think most people will know in the 90s cartoon specifically, was an astronaut who brought back the symbiote. And in the movie, he actually ends up staying alive, so, what happens with that? If anything down the road, I assume they might be able to explore it. Now, also at the same time, there's something else here to talk about when it comes to, I guess, Jameson as well, because we find out that Eddie can't go back to New York anymore. Essentially, his reputation there was ruined because of the Daily Globe. That's who he was working for. Obviously, in Marvel Comics, this is actually true to fact. Eddie was working for them at one point. They are a rival to the Daily Bugle, so there's that connection there. Now, another thing that I think is interesting, and this is probably what's going to keep Jameson out of the MCU, is the fact that if they're going to be using all of these characters here, then that means the limitation is for Marvel Studios and Sony not to use it for the MCU. So you can quite clearly tell what they're trying to do there. Also, at the end of the movie, She-Venom very briefly appears when she's wearing a suit and passes it off to Eddie. I think that was a pretty obvious self-explanatory one, but that one is there. Now, one I found that nobody's talked about so far. So when Eddie goes to the hospital, we see that there is a lady there with a dog. And we see that next to her is an old man. Now, they quickly just bypass her where they say, "Sorry, Mrs. Manfredi." Now, this caught my interest, and I don't know how everybody missed this, probably because it's like the most zealous little thing out there. But this is a reference to Silvermane, aka Silvios Manfredi, the man who would go on to become a cyborg. He's had a bunch of run-ins with a bunch of Spider-Man villains, and he is a Spider-Man villain to begin with. And not only that, also, later on, he actually goes on, loses his body, and he's just a head that's kind of carried around, and there is some involvement with a little dog, which the dog was right there with the old lady. So, I think that's definitely what they're trying to do here. If they're going to do anything with him, not sure, probably not, because it's a waste of time, but hey, it's a little reference, it's Silvermane, he has a deep history in there with connection. So that's just a few of the interesting ones I found. I don't need to beat you over the head with the more obvious ones, but there you go.